My name is Lori Bowden. I'm a professional triathlete. I'm the '98 duathlon world champion and second at the Hawaii Ironman. And for a living, I compete in triathlons. That's how I live. And most of the races I do are long distance Ironman type races. And I had an incident this year back in April when I was racing in a big event. I ended up, because of the water in my goggles, losing a contact lens, which I didn't actually even realize at the time because you can't always see clearly in the swim anyways. So I get out of the water and I got onto my bike and finally I realized, hey, you know what, I only have one contact lens and that's why I can't quite see properly. And then I hit the run and that's where I really noticed it the most because we had to run up and down a lot of different curbs and uneven areas, so you weren't really 100% sure of your footing each time. So it made it hard when you're supposed to be concentrating on a race, and it's a really big race that you've trained 2 or 3 months for, and only to have little problems like this, which are somewhat out of your control, and you like to be able to control everything that you can so that you'll have the best possible race. I just thought, you know, there's no way I can keep going into races like this and have this happen, because if you're in a big race and you lose both lenses, then your race is pretty much over. So then I'd heard about the laser surgery before, and somebody introduced me to Dr. Feldman at Clearview TLC, so I came to talk to her a little bit. It was pretty easy to talk to her just because she's a female doctor, and so you weren't intimidated by her and you just felt really relaxed with her. So I found out a little bit more about the procedure, and I thought, well, any athlete at all, especially one that does 3 sports, is crazy not to have it done.
I'm Dr. Sandy Feldman, Medical Director of Clearview TLC San Diego. The procedure I'm going to perform on Lori is laser-assisted in situ keratomileusis, otherwise known as LASIK. With LASIK, patients become less dependent upon their glasses or contact lenses and have a quick recovery time. During the preoperative examination, your own eye doctor will check the health of the eye, measure the glass prescription, and take a picture of the shape of the eye, known as corneal topography. Before surgery, the eye is numbed with drops and cleaned, and the patient is led into the laser room. The eye is opened and a mechanical instrument is used to make the flap. While the flap is being made, the patient experiences a temporary loss of vision. The flap is repositioned so that the cold laser can reshape the cornea. Throughout this part of the procedure, the patient is looking at the flashing red light. The corneal flap is then put back into its normal position. Immediately after the procedure, the smile on the patient's face tells me that they can already see better.
You know what? I just had this done like 2 minutes ago. Right after the procedure, I sat up and I couldn't believe how fast it was done, and I was so proud of myself. I looked around the room and I said, hey, I can read that clock over there. I can tell you what time it is. I can read that poster. I can see my friends. Oh, I can see that over there. So I think I was pretty impressed. I had the surgery done yesterday, late morning. I went home right afterwards. You don't have to sit around or worry about, sometimes if you're at the dentist, you have to wait if you've been put under for some kind of procedure. There's no waiting process. You just have it done and you go straight home and you feel fine. I'm telling all my friends, you have to have this done. It just makes your life so much easier, and if you're an athletic person or even non-athletic person, it's a great thing to have done, and it's so simple. And well, after having the surgery done 3 days ago, I'm ready to get back into training I could go to the pool, I could go running or cycling, and really there's nothing that you can't do afterwards, and it's pretty amazing. You have to get this done. It's so easy, and it's way easier than I could have even imagined, and no pain. And you never believe people when they say there's no pain. You think there's got to be some pain, but it wasn't painful at all, and I'm so glad that I had it done. And people that are thinking about it and maybe waiting, there's no reason to wait.